Hey, everybody, welcome to the One Day Marketing Plan. And we are going to get started here with some overview, like just a basic overview of kind of like where everybody typically is, and also where we really should go in 2022, right? So, a lot of times, marketing in business in general, people kind of go on very old fashioned ideas, right? And these are ideas that have come about since before, or say really before the internet came along. And now that we have the internet, and now that we have AI and big data and all these things, there's a lot of things that can go much faster, can be much more productive, and can be much more exciting. So that's where we're going to start today. We're going to start talking about kind of where kind of the old-fashioned advice is, and then where we should actually go. So first, we're going to start with your typical marketing plan, right? So typically when you start, people say, okay, great, get a logo, get your idea of your brand together, get a website, right? And you're picking out one of these sites, Weebly or Squarespace or Shopify or Wix or one of those, and um, you know, sort of open it, right? Open up the shop and see what happens, and start telling people about your site, telling people about your business, handing out business cards, all that fun stuff, right? And that is just the killing your business way, right, in 2022, because you know there's some extra things going on, and businesses no longer grow just on word of mouth, right? Word of mouth is very important, referrals are very important, but they should not be the foundation of what you build. So we want to get out of that mindset of if you build it, they will come. If you build it, they probably won't come. um, there's some other things you have to be aware of regarding the internet, so that you can be very, very successful, and actually very successful with a lot less effort than running around handing out business cards and doing Starbucks meetings and all that fun stuff, going to conferences and all those things we traditionally know how to do. And the reason for that is because we have a phenomenon that runs the internet, and it's called natural language processing. And you are totally familiar with natural language processing, but you don't know it. And usually you're familiar with it because of Google, right? So when you type in the search engine, you see it start to complete your sentence. That is a phenomenon of natural language processing. Or if you're typing in Gmail and it starts to compose the rest of your sentence for you, or compose a paragraph or recommend a word for you, that's natural language processing. But we're going to go through the different types so that you can understand how important it is that the text or data on your site is aligned and properly communicated, so that you can build your business properly online. And this is the foundation you need to know. You need to know what text, what images, what videos, what kinds of things do you really need to put on your site to draw traffic, to master social media algorithms, to master all these different technologies that affect so much of the world today and almost all of commerce. So, and getting into different types of natural language processing, right? So the fundamental concept is data is text, right? So when we're doing things on the internet, we're typing in text. When we're doing social media, text is involved. When we're doing text messaging, when we're on Telegram, Slack, text is involved, and text is data. And so with that data, the computers do all these different things to that text to try to understand it, right? And then that understanding is what creates you to see a post on LinkedIn or Facebook or not see one, right? You see this tweet or you don't see this tweet, because the machine is matching that text and that poster's characteristics to you. And that's how the commerce is actually created, right? It's whether that's what that algorithm is what decides, or that natural language processing is what decides whether you get seen or not, right? So the trick is not SEO anymore. The trick is optimizing your whole internet and social media footprint. You have to know what to put on there in order to get everything created. So let's get into the categories. So first one is managing human computer dialogue system, right? So those of you who've ever posted something weird or angry on the internet probably know this very well, where you post something and it's managing what you can and cannot say on the internet, right? It's also ranking what is and is not acceptable in that particular platform. So there are things that are and are not acceptable on Google, same on LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Pinterest, everything, right? Um, that's managing human computer dialogue. Then there's also machine perception. And machine perception is what you see when you start to type something in, is basically going, did you actually mean this? Right? It's trying to understand the context of your communication. There also are, that is also how YouTube and on most of the social media platforms detect whether whether you're saying something proper, right? Things like cursing, things like saying something that is just not appropriate, right? That's machine perception. The third one is natural language generation. And natural language generation is where it's completing the words, right? So that's the thing that most people are familiar with right now with AI. That's like the number one AI thing outside of like Alexa and Siri and Hey Google, right? Google Assistant. Natural language generation is where it's actually talking back to you or completing sentences and things like that. The fourth one is natural language classifier, right? So the words you use will send you up and down the rankings or up and down in priority, right? And the more consistent you are in the types of words that you use and the types of things that you talk about, the better the algorithm will serve what you need and serve the people to you who need to come to your business on a platform, right? And this is outside of advertising. This is what we're talking about is organic traffic, right? The foundation of your business is organic traffic. Because if you're always depending on ads, you're always spending money, you'll never have freedom in your business. You always have to earn money to get more money, right? But if you learn these skill sets, you have the skills to earn money without having to spend a ton of money, right? You'll have to spend some money to get the foundation set up, but you won't have to spend as much as, some people are spending $700 a lead, $50 a lead, $300 a lead, just to get through the whole ad paradigm, right? So it's kind of not the most effective way to do it, right? So we're talking about knowing how to put together the right words in your business so that your business is properly classified using those natural language classifiers. And the last part is natural language understanding. And natural language understanding is the context by which you're speaking, right? So it's the difference between saying, I'm going out to the riverbank to go fishing, and I'm going to the bank to withdraw some money, right? They're both using the word bank, but the whole sentence is the context in which the machine knows what you're talking about. So one will know you talk about fishing or sports fishing or boating or relaxation, vacation. The other one will know you're talking about a financial transaction, right? So natural language understanding is important because it will provide the context, right? So again, being conscious and being aware of the words that you use is just, the number one thing you need to always think about.